Greetings, dear Pisces. I, your experienced astro-psychologist and spiritual mentor, am addressing you today with a message full of both warning and hope. Between June 10th and 13th, 2025, you are entering a period of truly significant spiritual trials. I would even venture to call it your final karmic battle. Do not be alarmed by these words. A battle is not always about defeats and pain, it is also about the opportunity to demonstrate your strength, wisdom, and, most importantly, love. This period will be a time when the universe seems to condense energy around you, highlighting those corners of your soul that need healing and transformation. These are not just difficulties, they are a catalyst, a powerful impulse for your further growth and the unleashing of the incredible potential that lies dormant within each of you. The coming days will touch on various areas of your life. Issues of self-esteem, which I know so often trouble the sensitive nature of Pisces, will come to the fore. Relationships, both personal and business, will be tested for strength and sincerity. Career and finances may also become an arena for important decisions and reassessments. But remember, my dear ones, all these external manifestations are merely reflections of internal processes. The key to successfully navigating this period is awareness. Be attentive to your feelings, thoughts, and reactions. Do not allow fear and doubt to overshadow your inner light. Trust your intuition, your deep knowledge, which always leads you on the right path. Remember, you are not alone. The universe supports you every step of the way. Accept this period not as a punishment, but as an opportunity. An opportunity to become stronger, wiser, more complete. An opportunity to break free from old patterns and limitations. An opportunity to create a life filled with love, joy, and meaning. And remember, even in the darkest of times, light always finds a way. Your task is not to resist the darkness, but to allow your inner light to shine even brighter. But before we delve into strategies for overcoming these challenges, let's consider what specific spiritual attacks await you and how to prepare for them. After all, understanding is already half the victory. My dear Pisces, in anticipation of this significant period, I want to touch on the first, but no less important, trial that will unfold before you in these fateful days. Like ancient scrolls unfolding in time, the past is ready to knock on your door. Do not be afraid of this visit, for it holds the key to your further transformation. Imagine a mirrored labyrinth, where each reflection is an echo of bygone days, unfulfilled promises, forgotten obligations. Situations and people, seemingly buried beneath the weight of time, will rise from the ashes, demanding your attention, your resolution, your redemption. These may be old friends, former partners, unfinished projects, even shadows of your own past selves. The traps set on this path are insidious and tempting. Guilt, like a heavy cloak, can restrict your movements, causing you to replay past mistakes over and over again. Self-torture, that merciless executioner, will whisper to you about your worthlessness, about the impossibility of correcting what has been done. The temptation to avoid responsibility, to hide in the shadows of illusions, to idealize the past, presenting it in a rosy light, will be incredibly strong. But remember, my dear Pisces, that true strength lies not in running away, but in acceptance. Your spiritual task is to face your past, without turning away, without judging, but with wisdom and compassion. Allow yourself to feel the pain, but do not drown in it. Learn from each experience, like an alchemist turning lead into gold. Forgive yourself for your mistakes, for we are all imperfect, and forgive others for the offenses they have caused, for resentment is a poison that contaminates your soul. Carefully analyze your past promises and obligations. Which of them are still relevant and require your attention? Which of them truly align with your current values and goals? And which should you abandon, acknowledging that time has changed you and your priorities? Do not be afraid to let go of what no longer serves your highest good. The reward for this arduous work is liberation from the burden of the past, like a bird breaking free from its cage. Strengthening of self-esteem, based on the awareness of your strength and ability to overcome difficulties. Clarity regarding the future, like a beacon guiding you on the right path. You will feel lightness and freedom, readiness for new achievements, for new stages of your spiritual development. Remember that the past is not a sentence, but merely a step on the path to your true essence. And as you free yourself from the shackles of the past, like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, allow me to touch briefly on another area where illusions can weave their treacherous webs, concealing the true state of affairs. So, we continue our journey deeper into the period from June 10th to June 13th, 2025, a time when celestial energies intertwine in a pattern that demands maximum awareness from you, dear Pisces. We've already discussed how important it is to face the shadows of the past, free yourself from old obligations, and heal wounds to your self-esteem. But the trials don't end there. The second trial you must endure will, like a mirror, reflect your relationship with the material world, with the energy of money and well-being. This is a time when illusions and self-deception can particularly influence your decisions and perception of reality. Remember, Pisces, you are a sign that is acutely sensitive to energies, and this sensitivity can be both your gift and your vulnerability. During this period, it is especially important to avoid traps set by yourselves. Chasing illusory goals, dependence on the opinions of others, fear of poverty, all these are just reflections of your inner doubts and insecurities. Don't let unrealistic expectations cloud your mind. Remember that true wealth is not just the number of zeros in your bank account, but also an inner world filled with love, harmony, and meaning. The spiritual task before you is to objectively assess your financial situation. Discard illusions, stop living in a world of fantasy, and start building your reality on a solid foundation of awareness. Develop a healthy relationship with money, perceiving it as a tool, not an end in itself. Seek an internal source of confidence and stability, understanding that your worth is not determined by your material status. The reward for passing this test is financial awareness, a deep sense of security, and the development of practical resource management skills. You will learn to see opportunities where you previously saw only limitations and gain inner freedom from material worries. A practical piece of advice I can give you: create a realistic financial plan. Analyze your income and expenses, identify your true needs, and learn to distinguish them from fleeting desires. This doesn't mean you have to deny yourself everything, but it does mean you have to learn to manage your resources wisely and consciously. Remember, Pisces, this period is not about punishment, but about growth. It is an opportunity to reevaluate your values, strengthen your inner support, and find harmony in all areas of life. And although we have already touched on two aspects of this complex period, there is another, no less important, that requires close attention. My dear Pisces, let us continue our journey through the energies of June 2025. We have already touched on two important trials on your path to liberation. But remember, transformation is not a sprint, but rather a climb to a sacred mountain, where each step requires awareness and courage. Now we are approaching the third, perhaps the most disorienting trial of all. Imagine the ocean, your native element, suddenly stirred up by invisible forces. Waves of chaos and uncertainty crash upon you, making you doubt the stability of your ship, your ability to navigate the raging waters. In these days, from June 10th to 13th, you may encounter sudden changes in circumstances, situations that seem devoid of all logic and order. This trial can manifest itself both in the sphere of personal relationships and in professional activities. Perhaps you will feel that the ground is slipping from under your feet, that familiar landmarks are disappearing, leaving you in a state of suspension and anxiety. Remember, Pisces, that your sensitivity is both a gift and a vulnerability. In such moments, fears and anxieties can overwhelm you like a tsunami, pushing you towards panic and depression. The trap of this trial is to withdraw into isolation, to hide from the world, hoping that the storm will subside on its own. Another danger is to try to control everything, striving for an illusory stability that will only increase your tension. But in this chaos, my dears, lies a great opportunity for spiritual growth. Your task is to accept uncertainty as an integral part of life, to see in it not a threat, but a challenge that will help you unlock your inner potential. Trust the universe, let it guide you, even if the path seems unclear. Remember your intuition, your ability to feel what is hidden from superficial view. It is she who will become your compass in this stormy sea. Find an inner source of strength and tranquility, turn to meditation, to breathing exercises, to those practices that help you ground yourself and find balance. Keep a diary, write down your thoughts and feelings, analyze your reactions. This will help you see patterns, understand what exactly causes you fear and anxiety, and find ways to cope with them. The reward for passing this trial is a strengthened belief in yourself, the development of emotional intelligence, and the ability to maintain balance in the most challenging situations. You will learn to swim against the current without losing your inner harmony. You will understand that true strength lies not in controlling the external world, but in managing your internal state. And remember, my dears, after every storm comes a calm. And when the waves of chaos subside, you will see that you have become stronger, wiser, and more confident. You will discover that your connection with the universe has become even deeper and stronger. However, let me note that there is another layer, hidden in the depths of your being, that will require your close attention during this period. An aspect, without awareness of which, complete liberation will remain unattainable. My dear Pisces, it is time to delve into the very essence of the upcoming trials, into the very heart of the karmic battle that will unfold between June 10th and 13th, 2025. Remember that I am here, as your experienced astro-psychologist and spiritual mentor, to guide you through this complex, but inevitably transformative experience. Today we will talk about the most intimate, about that part of you that you may have been trying to avoid, about your shadow. It is the collision with it that will become the key challenge of this period. The shadow is not evil, it is not something to be afraid of. It is a collection of unaccepted aspects of your personality, suppressed emotions, unlived traumas, everything that you once decided to hide in the depths of your subconscious. Remember how many times you denied your feelings, how many times you suppressed anger, fear, or sadness. How many times did you try on someone else's mask to meet the expectations of others? All this leaves a mark, forms shadow patterns that begin to affect your life, often in a destructive way. During this period, my dears, the shadow will make itself known in full voice. It will manifest through situations, people, thoughts, and feelings that will cause you discomfort, irritation, and sometimes despair. Perhaps you will encounter projections, when you see in others what you do not actually accept in yourself. Perhaps there will be a temptation to go into self-destruction, into old, familiar patterns of behavior that, as you think, bring relief, but in reality only exacerbate the situation. But remember, my dear Pisces, that this is not a punishment, but an opportunity. An opportunity to heal yourself, to become whole, to find inner harmony. The spiritual task of this period is to recognize and accept your shadow. Do not fight it, do not deny its existence, but look it in the eye with love and compassion. Allow yourself to feel all those emotions that you have suppressed for so long. Give them an outlet, express them through creativity, through talking to a trusted person, through the practice of meditation. Do not judge yourself for your shortcomings, for your mistakes. Accept them as part of your human nature. When you recognize and accept your shadow, you can integrate it into your personality. You will find that it contains a huge amount of energy that can be directed towards creativity, growth, and the achievement of your goals. You will find that your shadow is not an enemy, but an ally who helps you become stronger, wiser, and more conscious. The reward for passing this trial is integrity, inner harmony, and freedom from limiting beliefs. You will stop being afraid of yourself, you will stop hiding from the world. You will be able to live a full, rich life, in accordance with your true purpose. What to do in practice, you ask? How to get through this test with dignity and wisdom? I recommend self-analysis practices. Keep a diary, write down your thoughts and feelings, analyze your reactions to various situations. Ask yourself questions: what is bothering me right now? What am I feeling? Why am I reacting like this? Consider working with a psychologist or spiritual mentor. A person with knowledge and experience can help you understand your shadow aspects, find the root of your problems, and develop a healing strategy. Remember, my dear Pisces, that you are not alone on this journey. All of us, to one degree or another, encounter our shadow. And it is in the process of accepting and integrating it that we gain our true strength and integrity. You may be wondering, how will all this affect your creativity and self-expression? After all, Pisces is a sign closely associated with art and inspiration. So, dear Pisces, we have reached the final point of our journey through the upcoming energies of June 2025. It is time to draw a line under those difficult, but so important lessons that the universe has prepared for you. Remember, every trial, every seeming difficulty, is not a burden, but a priceless gift, an opportunity to cultivate new facets within yourself, expand the horizons of consciousness, and reach a qualitatively different level of spiritual maturity. Remember how the alchemist turns lead into gold, passing it through the fire of transformation. And so, as you navigate these karmic battles, you transform your weaknesses into strength, your fears into wisdom, and your doubts into unwavering faith in yourself and your path. To illuminate this path with the light of truth and love, I want to share 4 key spiritual principles that will be your steadfast companions during this time. 1. Trust your intuition. Your inner voice is a compass that will always point you in the right direction, even in the densest fog. Learn to hear it, to trust its whispers, even if it contradicts logic or the opinions of those around you. Your intuition is a direct channel to the divine, do not neglect it. 2. Be compassionate to yourself and others. Remember that we are all travelers on this earth, and each of us is on our own path, making mistakes, learning, and growing. Do not judge yourself harshly for past missteps, forgive yourself and others for imperfections. Compassion is a healing force that mends wounds and opens hearts. 3. Release control. Life is a flow, and trying to hold on to it, to control every turn, only leads to disappointment and suffering. Trust in the wisdom of the universe, let go of your fears, and allow events to unfold in their own way. Embrace uncertainty as an opportunity for new discoveries and miracles. 4. Live in the present moment. The past is gone, the future has not yet arrived. All you have is here and now. Enjoy every moment, appreciate the beauty of the world around you, and be grateful for all that you have. Live mindfully, fully present in every action, every word, every thought. My dear Pisces, I know that you possess immense potential, incredible spiritual strength, and an unlimited supply of love. Believe in yourself, trust the universe, and walk your path with an open heart and a clear mind. Remember that after every storm, there is always a sunrise, and after every battle, there is victory. These trials are not the end, but only the beginning of a new, beautiful chapter in your life. A chapter filled with light, love, wisdom, and boundless happiness. And as you pass through this period of transformation, you will see yourselves blossom, becoming more whole, more strong, and more loving. Allow yourselves to be vulnerable, allow yourselves to feel, allow yourselves to grow. And remember that you are not alone on this path. The universe is always there, supporting you and guiding you. But before we bid a final farewell to this period, there is one more important aspect that requires our attention. It is the subtle thread that connects you to something greater than you can imagine.